Hello and welcome to our English news coming to you from Canal, Algérie. First, the top stories of the news.
It is a famine. The Gaza famine.
The United Nations officially declares famine in Gaza, a situation likely to worsen in the coming days given the ongoing blockade on the Palestinian enclave. The International Conference on Development in Africa winds-ups in Japan with a salient event, the participation of Western Sahara despite the Moroccan maneuvers. And Skikda oil port is extended to meet the ever-increasing ambitions of Sinatrak in terms of exports towards new foreign markets. Welcome back to our news. We kick our news with the alarming situation in the Palestinian territories where the United Nations officially declared famine in Gaza. According to the specialists, more than 500,000 people are living in unbearable conditions, a situation likely to worsen in the coming days. More details with Melissa Lila Balaman. For the first time, famine has been officially declared in Gaza, according to the United Nations. Since the end of September, more than 640,000 people have been living in extreme hunger. Nearly 1 million Palestinians are now living in conditions of famine.
It is a famine. The Gaza famine. It is a famine that we could have prevented if we had been allowed. Yet food stacks up at borders because of systematic obstruction by Israel. It is a famine within a few hundred meters of food in a fertile land. It is a famine that hits the most vulnerable first, each with a name, each with a story, that strips people of dignity before it strips them of life, that forces a parent to choose which child to feed, that forces people to risk their lives to seek food. It is a famine that we repeatedly warned of, but that the international media has not been allowed in to cover, to bear witness. It is a famine in 2025. A 21st century famine, watched over by drones and the most advanced military technology in history. It is a famine openly promoted by some Israeli leaders as a weapon of war. It is a famine on all of our watch. It is too late for far too many, but not for everyone in Gaza. Enough. For humanity's sake, let us in.
Among children under 6, cases of malnutrition have surged in just a few months, affecting more than 16,500. Around 320,000 children are directly threatened, while 55,000 pregnant and breastfeeding women are at risk of death. The toll is already devastating. At least 147 people, including 32 children, have died of hunger. Since then, more than 1,000 people have lost their lives, many of them killed simply for trying to access land or aid. Doctors, humanitarian workers, professors and community leaders are sounding the alarm. An entire population continues to fight for justice, even as famine becomes not only a humanitarian catastrophe, but also a weapon brutally used by the oppressor. We remain the Palestinian territories, and in central Gaza, a camp sheltering hundreds of displaced families has been reduced to ashes after a Zionist airstrike. Survivors speak of homelessness, famine and a looming invasion. The affair could erase Gaza itself. Wissam Abu Zaid and Melissa Lila Balaman tell us more.
Over 200 displaced Palestinian families once lived in this camp in the city of Deir al-Balah, in the heart of the Gaza Strip. Today, it is nothing but a heap of rubble, and whatever little the displaced had managed to salvage from their destroyed homes has now been reduced to ashes after an air raid carried out by Zionist warplanes. Entire families are left homeless, in a scene that captures the double tragedy of forced displacement and death. Look at the situation we're in. No proper shelter. This is our reality. We are forced to stay in the street or under a tent, if we can even find one. I'll gather what few belongings I have left and leave. I don't even know where to go anymore. There is no safe place left. The Zionist army had designated the area where the displaced had taken refuge as a safe zone, a lie that reveals the uncertain fate of more than 1 million Palestinians in Gaza, besieged from every side, now bracing themselves for yet another invasion. Save what remains of the Gaza Strip, stop this genocide and the famine we endure every day. We are subjected to the horror of extermination. Yesterday it was the Jabalia neighborhood, the day before Sabra, and today it is the forced march westward. With every passing day, the suffering deepens. Crowds from the center of the enclave and from Gaza City are gathering to cry out with one voice, stop the war, stop the massacre, stop the genocide against our people. More than 60,000 people have been killed in Gaza, hundreds of thousands wounded, while dozens of hospitals are out of service and most schools have been destroyed. The measures imposed have fueled anger in the Palestinian streets. Massive processions have brought together local unions to denounce the military operation and the announced invasion of the city, seen as yet another threat that will only worsen the atrocities inflicted on the displaced. Today, the Palestinian people are facing a plan of forced displacement, mass killings, and extermination. This is why we make a final appeal to the international community to protect the civilians of Gaza. The looming invasion of Gaza is not simply a military campaign. It carries the promise of new human tragedies and the risk of wiping an entire city off the map. For to invade Gaza is also to attempt to erase the soul of the Palestinian people and the cradle of their identity.
A critical situation indeed in the Palestinian enclave. To another story now, the proceedings of the International Conference on African Development wound up on Friday in Japan. This year's edition was marked by the participation of Western Sahara, despite the Moroccan maneuvers. The Economy and Startup Minister Nordin Wadah attending this event unveiled figures denoting the achievements made by the national economy as well as the growth rate thanks to the deep reforms engaged by the country's authorities. You are still watching Canal Algérie. Coming up in our news. Bonds with the mother country Algeria are being consolidated as part of the summer camps dedicated to the children of nationals abroad. Welcome back to our news. Through major upgrades at Skikda, Sonatrach expanding Algeria's liquefied natural gas production and export capacity, reinforcing its role as a key energy supplier to Europe and beyond. Our field reporter Aisha Boubriq and desk journalist Melissa Lila Balaman expound.
Algeria is steadily strengthening its position on the global energy market, driven by the strategy of the Sonatrach Group. At the core of this approach is boosting both production and export capacity, particularly through its complexes dedicated to natural gas liquefaction, most notably the Skikda facility, GL1K. The expansion of the country's second-largest oil port, after Arzu, enabled the loading of 35 vessels during the first half of 2025. The new quay can now handle large LNG carriers with a loading capacity of up to 220,000 cubic meters. Since it was commissioned, it has allowed for the shipment of 35 medium-sized vessels.
35 باخرة متوسطة الحجم. قدرات الشحن.
This facility can load and unload all types of products: liquefied natural gas, gasoline, diesel, fuel oil, crude oil, and gas condensate. Sonatrach allocated 53 billion dinars to the project, with construction carried out by a Chinese company specialized in port engineering.
وتشرف على إنجاز الشركة الصينية لهندسة الموانئ.
The complex produces 4.5 million tons of liquefied natural gas annually, the equivalent of 30,000 cubic meters per day, destined for export markets. Other strategic projects accompany the expansion of Skikda's oil port, such as a storage tank with a capacity of 150,000 cubic meters.
المشروع يشرف على نهايته ونحن في حدود 81%.
This project is in its final phase with 81% already completed. It will increase storage capacity at the new load-in quay, allowing Sonatrach to meet its commitments to its partners.
على مستوى ميناء الشحن.
We are at the site of the new reservoir, which stands 45 meters tall. It is equipped with 4 pumps, each with a load-in capacity of 2,000 cubic meters. To reduce its carbon footprint, the project also includes a unit for capturing and recycling evaporated gases, an innovation aligned with Sonatrach's strategy to adopt advanced technological solutions and cut emissions. Behind every step of this construction are Algerian engineers and managers working with a clear goal to fulfill the group's contractual commitments, expand Algeria's reach into new markets, and secure its position as a reliable and strategic supplier for Europe and beyond.
Still with Algeria's domestic news, every summer, children of Algeria's diaspora return home, joining holiday camps that blend discovery, heritage and identity, strengthening the bond with the country that always welcomes them back. The atmosphere prevailing there is depicted by Miriam Zouish and Melissa Lila Balama. Let's follow.
Even while growing up far from their homeland and scattered across different countries, the children of Algeria's diaspora hold on to a strong sense of attachment. Each summer, their return makes that bond visible, like this group that traveled from Tunisia to spend their holidays in Béjaïa. I live in Tunisia. I'm happy to visit my homeland, Algeria. It is my first time coming to Algeria. I'm very excited. I want to discover and explore everything Algeria has to offer. I want to thank President Abdelmajid Tebboune for this opportunity. The tradition reflects the care and attention Algerian authorities extend to citizens wherever they may live. Across several coastal provinces, young people from the diaspora are welcomed into summer camps. The experience is both emotional and enriching, combining the joy of reconnecting with the homeland and the thrill of exploring or re-exploring every corner of their ancestors' country. I am happy to visit the land of my ancestors. The food here is delicious. We went to the pool and visited museums. It was great. However, it is more than just a summer getaway. It is the transmission of heritage. These camps are not ordinary vacations. They are a way of planting national values, nurturing pride and identity, and reaffirming a lasting bond with a country that will always embrace its children.
A joyful atmosphere for sure. Sports now, CS Constantine secured a good start in the Football First League Championship after defeating away MC Al Bayad with 2-0. The side of Akhbou, for its part, beat ES Mostaganem with 1-0. Let's follow the highlights of these two games.
خطيرة وربيعي ميلود ربيعي يتمكن من افتتاح باب التسجيل لصالح فريق النادي الرياضي القسنطيني بعد هذه الركنية. طبعا هو ميلود ربيعي الذي يتمكن من افتتاح باب التسجيل. زمن نشيط يمس الكثير من كرة منذ دخوله. تتحول هجمة معاكسة سريعة. هنا خطورة، هنا الخطورة، هنا الخطورة معاك يا فتح اللطار. فتح اللطار خطيرة. الثاني
قدم ويتحدى رئيس وهاب بولحي. توفيق عدادي كيف سيفعل أول أهداف المباراة في آخر الثواني ودقائقها هل هذه البطولة
A thrilling start and promising games. With this, we come to the end of our news bulletin. Tomorrow, another day, other news. Keep tuning to our channel programs. Take care. Bye-bye for now.